It's now 10 a.m. and less than a mile away, PC's Gibson and Fournaise have just received a call regarding some suspicious men who've attempted to gain access to a building that's being refurbished.
Yeah, a call from control saying that there's a company removing radio equipment and have not offered any identification, so potentially could be thieves.
Thieves often use bogus IDs to try and steal equipment from office buildings. But PC Fournaise is concerned this job might be something more sinister.
Because of where we are, the city full of iconic sites, and the current terror threat, there's when people don't produce identification, it raises suspicions that little bit more. So we treat a lot of those calls quite importantly.
Go ahead.
In January 2010, the terror threat in London was raised from substantial to severe, meaning the authorities believe a terrorist attack is highly likely. And it's city cops who are on the front line, ready to deal with whatever comes their way.
We call police then, yeah? Have you got security here 24/7? All right. And no one else has reported people coming in and coming out of it?
When the officers arrive, the security guard tells them the suspects have already left, but explains they wanted to get access to the roof. Because the men had no ID, security refused to let them in. They're long gone, but police decide to check out just what's so interesting up top. Once on the roof, cops find what they believe the men were interested in: pirate radio equipment. This wasn't an attempted break-in, but an attempted breakout. The equipment looks like it was set up weeks ago, while the building was still empty. The pirates were probably trying to gain access so they could recover the equipment before it was discovered.
Ain't going to own up to it in any case, are they? As a pirate thing, I wouldn't have thought, would they?
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah.
Pirate radio stations cause havoc with emergency service communications and air traffic control. In London alone, over 1,000 pirate radio stations are shut down every year. But most broadcast from the outskirts of the city. It's very rare to see one in the middle of the square mile. Cops are baffled as to how the pirates were able to set the equipment up in the first place.
I mean, what it looks like is, at some point, they've managed to get into the building and set up a pirate radio station.
But despite the appearance of the equipment, PC Fournaise isn't taking any chances and decides to pass on his findings.
I'm going to give our special branch a call, obviously because, I mean, it looks like a pirate radio station, but it could be anything. And like I was explaining earlier with the terrorism threat in the city, so it's best just running it by someone who knows a bit more than I do. So that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Despite his concerns, the officers are satisfied there's no immediate terror threat. And even if the equipment is being used for pirate radio purposes, the cops don't have the necessary tools to remove them right now.
Give like an intel number, so you've got something. Obviously, there's quite a few building sites around the city, but the main problem we have is people breaking in and stealing building material rather than setting up pirate radio stations. So yeah, this is a first for me.